Good afternoon, everyone. How's everybody doing? I'm Ranger Kerry Lewis, and I welcome you to the New Orleans Jazz Museum on behalf of the New Orleans Jazz and Historical National Park. It is our indeed pleasure to present to you, in cooperative with the New Orleans Jazz Museum, quality premier programming. With that being said, today you're in for a great treat. I tease him all the time. I let him know I grew up on his voice. But this young man here, Mr. Fred Kasten, is a voice of the community, and it gives a great pleasure to present him to you with Talkin Jazz. Mr. Fred Kasten.
Thank you very much, Kerry. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here this afternoon, our first Talkin Jazz session of 2024. So we celebrate New Year 2024 here today. Also, it's carnival time in the Crescent City now, so we celebrate that, and we have an outstanding artist and excellent ensemble to help us celebrate both of these situations and whatever comes to mind today in the course of our conversation with a very, very gifted leader here, Mr. Kid Chocolate. So I want to introduce the guys to you. They're going to play for us for a minute, and then we'll talk some with Kid. Over here on the drums, please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Floyd Gray. I should say drums and cymbals. He brought cymbals today. On the six-string electric bass guitar, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Mike Bass. Also six strings and an electric guitar, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome at the guitar, Max Bronstein. And our leader this afternoon, the very accomplished trumpeter and vocalist. Please welcome Kid Chocolate and the POC. Quartet version.
So this first song we're gonna play for y'all is a song composed by myself and a friend of mine named John Milham from Alabama. I was doing a recording session with him, and we had recorded a bunch of his original music, and he had this song that he had the music to, but he wanted words to it. So he wrote the music for it, and I sat down and wrote some words to it. And the name of this song is Zimble Street. I see faces on Zimble Street. It's a place where people meet. Shady trees, if you please, up on Zimble Street. Take a stroll around Zimble Street. Jockey mows the maple leaf. Mint julep, sweet tea, right around Zimble Street. I can't be found unless you go way uptown. Through Carré, oh no, I'll show you where to go. To lean back and kick up your feet. Relax in harmony. Southern nights, street lights, up on Zimble Street. Max Bronstein. I see faces on Zimble Street. It's a place where people meet. Shady trees, if you please, up on Zimble Street. Jockey moles in the maple leaf. Take a stroll around Zimble Street. Mint juleps, sweet tea, right around Zimble Street. Oh yeah, I can't be found unless you go way uptown. Through Carré, oh no, up on Zimble Street. I mean, up on Zimble Street. I mean, shoe fly, don't you bother me. I don't need no more company. I'm just taking in the scene down on Zimble Street.
Zimble Street, ladies and gentlemen, composed by Kid Chocolate and his associate. Who was the co-composer on that?
John Milham.
John Milham.
Yeah.
Over there, doing great work as his cooking rhythm section and pushing it on in a mighty nice way. Mr. Floyd Gray at the drums and cymbals, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Bass doing the same on his sixth string, and on his sixth string, Mr. Max Bronstein, Kid Chocolate, the composer of the lyrics, the singer of the vocals, and the player of the trumpet, ladies and gentlemen, and the leader of Kid Chocolate and the POC, his current ensemble, which you can, by the way, catch Tuesday nights for some time to come at DBA over on Frenchman Street. Yeah. And I highly recommend it. Kid, where are you from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in New Orleans East. My family is from St. Bernard Parish, though.
St. Bernard Parish.
Yeah.
So they came a little north and lived in the east.
Well, my dad, he just didn't want to live down there. He considered it like a small town, 'cause like really most of the people down there is cousins. Like we all cousins.
This is a condition in southeast Louisiana generally.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So when you got into New Orleans proper, was music something that spoke to you pretty early in life?
I can remember the earliest memory I have is like 4 years old, singing in the choir in church, and not long after that, maybe when I was 7 or 8, 6, 7 or 8, being in school, and they gave us those plastic recorders,
Flutophone recorder.
the flutophones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever they taught us on the flutophone, my grandmother had a piano in her house. So like any instrument that I could figure out notes on, whatever I could play on the flutophone, I could play it on any other instrument, because I made a connection, some kind of mathematical connection with the notes of the musical scale and numbers,
Right.
like from 1 to 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
At a really young age, yeah.
Yeah, Danilo Perez told me that his dad had a theory about using music to learn other subjects,
Yeah,
and particularly mathematics is how it worked for him.
yeah.
Well, I know that you began trumpet at 9, but it was kind of a toss a coin
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
Tell us about that.
So, actually, I was in the 5th grade. We were living in New Orleans East, and I was going to the school. It's not there no more. It was called Francis Yancey Gaudet Elementary School on Haynes Boulevard. And there was a concert band at the school, and they were doing a concert, and none other but Kevin Lewis was a trumpet player in that band. He was in the 6th grade. I was in the 5th grade.
Wow.
And I heard him play the trumpet, and really that's what made me want to join the band. So I went home and told my mom I wanted to join the band. My grandfather, he was a demolition man, like he knocked down houses and stuff. But before they would knock down the houses, you know, the workers would go through the house just to see if they had anything valuable in there. So he had collected all kind of things in the shed in the back. So there was a piano at my grandmother's house. I didn't want to play the piano because I thought the piano was a girl's instrument. And my mother played the piano until she was like 14 years old. I didn't know that till I was older. But she had all kind of trophies and stuff. Like, she was really good, and now she remembers nothing. But anyway, there was a piano, there was a clarinet, and a cornet. A cornet is like a small kind of version of a trumpet. So we looked at the cornet and we looked at the clarinet, and my mom said, "Okay, we'll take it to the music shop." At that time, it was Bandwagon. Bandwagon was the music store out in St. Bernard Parish on Judge Perez. And she said, whichever one costs the least to get repaired, that's what you're going to play. So the clarinet was like $150 to fix, and the cornet was like $25. So
Sold.
yeah.
Well, so that was your sort of your initial interest anyway, having heard Kevin play.
Yeah. So
that
was
kind of
perfect.
connected. All right.
It was
Well, did you like it once you got it home and got it repaired?
I loved it. Nobody ever had to tell me to practice or nothing like that. Like every day.
Just dove right in.
Yeah.
What kind of things were you listening to as you began to play cornet?
Oh man, at that time I didn't know anything about jazz, so it was just whatever was on Q93
Uh-huh.
on 93.3. So it was like hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
So I would just sit down and try to find the right fingerings to play the songs on the radio. Kevin gave me his number, so he messed up because I would call him, be like, "Kevin, you know this song? What's the notes? Tell me the notes. Tell me the fingerings." I bothered him a lot.
And you were able to get into a band at school then?
I joined the concert band at that school, at the elementary school, and it was on from there. I was also in the concert band in high school, and then I left the concert band and went to the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts, and then to UNO.
Was Clyde Kerr still at NOCA
Yeah.
when you were there?
Yeah.
Clyde Kerr Jr.
Yeah, I'm old. He was
Well, he's not only a great trumpet player and composer, but a wonderful teacher and just a general resource about life.
yeah. He's like another father. Yeah.
Yeah, and were you able to get some specialized lessons with Mr. Kerr
I mean, I was with him every day.
every day?
Yeah, so I mean, we were like his children.
Yeah. Who were some of your colleagues at NOCA at that time? That's the
Oh,
New Orleans
man.
Center for Creative Arts, for folks that don't know.
Let's see, anybody that y'all would know. Jason Marcellus, Irvin Mayfield, Stephen Walker, Andrew Baham, Christian Scott. Who else? Ronell Johnson. Her name was Brianna Williams at the time. She ended up marrying Roland Garin for some time, but she's a really great piano player. Another one named Breon Ford. Who else was there? Nick was there for a year. Nick, he wasn't there with us.
No,
Yeah, with us. That was a different generation.
Yeah.
But yeah, NOCA's turned out a whole bunch of.
Yeah, and everyone you named so far is still active in music.
Yeah.
And some, have mostly been very successful.
Yep. Did I say Big Sam?
Huh?
Yeah, Big Sam was there.
Yeah, so quite a set of colleagues.
Mhm.
As you, did you guys, after school, did you also get together and start playing some on your
Man.
own?
Yeah, it was nonstop, and we were very competitive. Like nobody wanted to be the one that sounded bad. Like nobody wanted to be the weakest link. So we were all. They only had 4 practice rooms at the time. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. They had 5 practice rooms at the time, and way more students than practice rooms. So we used to fight over practice rooms, and if you didn't sound good, you would get roasted. So,
You better bring it.
yeah, better bring it. At that time, Irvin Mayfield had a brass band. It was called the Blackjack Brass Band.
Ah, yeah.
So many of us were in that brass band, and we all, we would rehearse all the time with the brass band, do gigs, go play out in Jackson Square, other events overseas. That was my first time going overseas, was playing with that brass band. I was like 15 years old or something
Wow.
like that.
Where all did you go on that tour?
We only went to Greece, but we went all around Greece, like to 12 or 14 different cities. And at the end of it, they gave us cash money. And, I was 15. I had all these $100 bills. I was like, this is what I want to do.
Yes. If you needed any convincing.
Yeah,
That was pretty powerful.
yeah.
What about writing music? Kid, were you interested in that? Did you begin to explore that at all as you were getting into your teenage years?
Not really until I was after I graduated high school and I was in college at UNO. I didn't think I was really good at it at the time, but I guess when you first start anything, you're not good at it. But I still don't think I'm very good at it, but I just keep doing it. I try to write songs that I like and play music that I like because it's genuine like that. You know what I mean? And I think that people gravitate more toward authenticity than whatever the
opposite of
other
that,
thing is.
inauthenticity. Fake. Like the real over the fake.
Yeah.
Well, as a 3-decade resident of Zimble Street, I appreciate you celebrating
Yeah.
that one in song.
Yep. Yep.
And I hope you'll keep on cranking some of those things out. You had, as you were a youngster, been mostly just listening to the radio, but as you got with these guys, were you expanding the audio things you were indeed checking out?
Absolutely. So when I first got to NOCA, well, you have to audition for NOCA. So the first time I auditioned, I didn't make it. And it was at the beginning of the summer, and Mr. Kurt told me to go get private lessons over the summer, come back and audition again. And, if I can hear that you've made some development, I'll let you in. So I did what he said, and I came back and auditioned, and he let me in. So that's when I met Irvin Mayfield and Kenyatta Beasley and all of these, they were like amazing trumpet players to me at the time because we were teenagers and they're playing like adults.
Right.
So Irvin actually kind of took me under his wing. I think everybody in the jazz department saw something in me and saw some promise that I could, actually be okay at playing the trumpet someday. And so Irvin, he gave me a duffel bag full of jazz CDs.
Oh,
And he
cool.
said, listen to all of these and just give it back to me when you're done. So I kept those CDs for like 3 or 4 years. I listened to everything just constantly. It was all kind of stuff in there. But that, before NOCA, I wasn't necessarily connected to jazz music in any way. But Irvin gave me those CDs and it opened up a whole nother world.
What about the classic New Orleans rhythm and blues? You do a beautiful job of some of that great classic material from the 50s and 60s. Had you heard that as a youngster at all?
Not really. I found all that stuff later.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to gospel music, and my dad liked Marvin Gaye and Al Green and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I grew up listening to.
Yeah. Well, that's so many people have started music in the church.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I think almost universally among the musicians
I think so.
know.
Yeah. That's not far-fetched.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk to you some about some of the band leaders you have worked with through the years, and we'll do that in a few minutes. But let's get some more music.
Okay. Let's see.
What do you think? Yeah.
Is this a 15-minute one? I'm not texting. I have my set list. Right. Let's see. What type of, is this a long one? Or-
15, yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Let's do, this one, speaking of great band leaders, this one, this is one of the songs I was playing with one of those great band leaders. I'll tell you about it after we finish playing. The name of the song is Steal Away. This is actually his arrangement of
Oh,
it,
yeah,
too.
the great Wolf.
Yeah.
Walter Wolfman, wash it out.
I'd like to see you somehow, not tomorrow, but right now. I know it's late, but I just can't wait. So come on, let's steal away, let's steal away. Girl, you better stop grinning, trying to make up your mind. Your folks are sleeping, let's not waste no time. I know it's late, and I just can't wait. So come on, let's steal away, let's steal away. I know it's wrong asking this of you. There's no way that we can do. If only your folks, if they would only refuse things like this, we wouldn't have to do. No, I won't tell nobody else. I'm gonna keep it all to myself. I know it's late, but I just can't wait. Come on, let's steal away. Let's steal away. Look out, man. miss of you. There's no way I can be with you. If only your phone, it would only approve things like this we wouldn't have to do. No, I won't tell nobody else. I'm gonna keep it all to myself. I know it's late, and I just can't wait. Come on, let's steal away. Let's steal away now. I know it's late, just can't wait. Come on, let's steal away. Let's steal away. 'Cause I know it's late, and I just can't wait. Oh, let's steal away. Oh. Can't wait. Come on, let's steal away. Baby.
Steal Away, ladies and gentlemen, beautifully played by the POC band with Kid Chocolate. Over there on the drums, Floyd Gray. Mike Bass on bass. Max Bronstein is our guitar man. And Kid Chocolate with the trumpet and the vocals. Honoring the great Walter Wolfman Washington and that wonderful arrangement.
If you ever come to my house and knock up on my door, somebody's gonna tell you, baby, not to ever come back no more. Said I know, I think I know, baby, how you classify. That ain't no lie. I'm so glad that I know now, baby, just how you classify. That ain't no lie. I know it's real, what my mind keeps telling me. I know it's real, what my one light lets me see. And I know how you classify. That ain't no lie. I'm so glad that I know now, baby, just how you classify. That ain't no lie. try to call me all out of my name. 'Cause if you had my feeling, I'm quite sure you feel the same. Some say I'm crazy, some say that I'm dumb. It doesn't mean that you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, Classified, title tune from the great 1982 James Booker LP. And before that, Steal Away in the style of the great Walter Wolfman Washington, done beautifully by Floyd Gray on drums and cymbals, Mike Bass on the bass, Max Bronstein at the guitar, Kid Chocolate, trumpet and vocals, Kid Chocolate and the POC.
Free
ladies and
POC.
gentlemen.
The
Free
POC.
POC. Got to put that in. Man. I have misspelled something here. Okay, and the free POC. Thank you. We were talking about band leaders, and I know one of the guys you worked with, the guy actually gave you your name, is Bob French.
That's right.
You played with him at the late lamented Donna's Bar
Yeah.
and Grill.
And many other places too.
And others.
Yeah.
How'd you connect with Bob?
So, me and my best friend Stephen Walker, the trombone player, we were playing in Jackson Square. That's where we were like really learning how to play music. We would cut school and go out in Jackson Square a lot of days. So we'd be out there at 9 o'clock in the morning, and to hold down the spot, because if nobody's in the spot, somebody will take the spot. So we would go sit on the bench with Tuba Fat and wait for the rest of the band to come. And eventually, a bass player named Mitchell Player.
Oh yeah, bass player. Yeah.
I don't remember how we met Mitch, but we had been playing in the quarter for some years, and he found out about us. And at the time that he found us, I think we were about 19 or something like that, like 19, 20. We were out of high school at the time. So he invited us to come and play with his band at the Maison Bourbon every day, like 5 days a week. So Steve and I started doing that gig 5 days a week, 5 hours a day. That's a long gig, man.
That's a lot of
like if you need to practice, that's a great gig to practice on. So we were doing that gig, and some kind of way Bob found out about us on that gig. Maybe some people were talking about these young guys that were playing on Bourbon Street. So he came and heard us one day, and he told us that he had some work for us. So he called us, told me to buy some suits and get a black book so I could write all the dates down. That's when we used to write stuff down.
Right.
Get a black book so we could write the dates down, and it was on from there. But my first gig, I got fired. He called the first gig with Bob. He fired me because I was late. I did the best I could, but he fired me. Then he called me back the next week to do the gig again. And I got fired a lot from Bob's band. He used to fire me for anything. So he had a revolving trumpet players in his band. It was like me, Mark Bro, Wendell Brunius, maybe sometimes Greg Stafford, but like that. Everybody would get fired. Whenever he's mad at one of us, he'll call the other one.
A repertory of trumpeters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was an interesting experience on many levels.
Yeah, but very. And I met a lot of interesting characters, just being around Bob. Yeah, a lot of interesting characters. That was kind of a catalyst for everything.
He was a pretty strict band leader. I mean, besides firing people all the time, he kind of.
He was strict, but he was a teddy bear too.
But he was a gruff exterior and a heart of gold.
Yeah. Yeah, he just talked hard.
Yeah. When did you first get the chance to play with Walter?
So I have this thing where I manifest the bands that I want to play with. I manifest myself into the gig. So a part of that is what I do if I hear a band I like and I want to be in the band. Well, this was then. If I wanted to be in the band, I don't do it anymore. If I wanted to be in the band, I would just show up at the gig every week until I know all of the arrangements. And so that's what happened with Walter. It also happened with Ultra, this band called Ultra, this Latin band.
Latin band, yeah.
Yeah, man, New Orleans used to have such a dope Latin scene.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
on Wednesdays, look for Latin music. Frenchman Street was full of Latin bands. I don't know what happened to
Yeah,
that,
there's
but
Freddie Omar.
yeah, Freddie Omar, Vivaz,
Yeah.
Ultra, they had all these bands.
And
But
you-
anyway,
yeah.
a part of my process would just be to go to the gig every week, and hear their repertoire every week until I have the songs memorized and I have the trumpet parts memorized. So I did that with Walter's band. I went to see him every week at DBA
Mhm.
every week until I kind of was familiar with the repertoire. But his repertoire was so deep. Like they had so many songs. Like even after going listen to him for a year and being in the band for years, there was still songs in the repertoire that I didn't know that he hadn't played in that time.
Mhm.
But so I went and listened every week. I learned the music, and something that happened with the trumpet player. It was an emergency, and he had to move out of town. So he called me and asked me if I could go and fill in for him on Walter's gig. So I went and filled in on Walter's gig, and the trumpet player, he ended up having to stay out of town kind of extensively. So eventually Walter was like, "It's your gig now. It's your gig." And I love the way you play. Can I curse on it?
Yeah.
He said, "I love the way you play, you hoe." And and then he bit me on my face. Walter was wild. Walter,
Oh.
crazy man.
The understanding of the
The
understanding.
understanding of the understanding, yeah.
Hey, he would kiss you if you didn't watch him.
He didn't kiss me. He used to bite. He bites you.
He was a very interesting character.
Yeah, man. He's
But a great guitarist, and I think you must have learned a lot about leading a band and playing that music
yeah.
with him.
Yeah, I loved watching him guide the band through the songs, because his cues for bands to do certain things, they were so subtle but like really powerful, like subtle and powerful, and that helped me out with other bands I was playing in, because I mean, from the audience you might not think about it, but like on the stage, when we're playing music and we have to go to different sections and do different things, I really don't like talking and yelling over the music to say what's about to happen, like to give instructions and stuff like that. So it's just like little subtle things, like he might just do like that, and you got to know what to do. Or he might just do his guitar, something little, just a little bop, and everybody know what to do. So it's like you can't just be on a stage and be in your own little world.
Right.
Like when you're on the stage, you have to have that's what he used to say, you have to have your antennas up. You have to keep your antennas up. And sometimes it's not even a physical cue. Sometimes it's a audible cue, like it's a musical cue that you have to listen for, and you have to know how to respond to it. So, yeah, just the little things like that, like the little details. I found that really fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. Conducting.
Yeah.
Learning how to
Yeah.
conduct in that kind of
And
milieu.
sometimes it's not even a musical phrase. It's just like almost a telekinetic kind of thing that happens, where
Mhm.
somebody's just giving off a certain energy to do a certain thing, and everybody, you have to be open and sensitive to feel it, and everybody feels it, and everybody goes, and just you don't want to be the eyeball.
Well, it's one of the great feelings in making music, is when all of that happens.
Yeah.
It's kind of what you're searching for
Yeah.
when you take the stage,
Yeah.
is to have those moments.
Yeah. It's magical.
Well, you had a lot of good moments with a guy named Mac Rebenak also.
I did. Man, I feel so fortunate. So fortunate to have been able to to catch a piece of that, because that was the last year. 2017, January 2017 is when I got called to join the new band. And 2017, we toured 2017, and then 2018, he stopped touring. He was starting to decline.
Right. Boy, what a year.
It was a great year, man.
And a terrific record
Yeah.
came out of that, too.
Yeah.
And just to see an artist like that, who's produced so much great music, and everybody in the band, of course, is outstanding.
Yeah. Yeah, I was always in awe. Like, I couldn't believe I was there. The first little tour we did, we were actually on a tour bus. We weren't even flying. We were on a tour bus, and he was on the bus with us. So it was like just every morning, you wake up and there's Mac sitting there at the front of the bus, just waiting for the bus to stop so he could go smoke his little cigar, and we go try to talk to him, because he was kind of in and out.
Right.
So he had moments of clarity, and those moments of clarity were hilarious. He used to say, he said things that nobody else on the earth would ever say. He made up his own words. Somebody needs to create the Dr. John dictionary.
There have been a few attempts, I think.
Yeah.
But nothing concrete. What a creative linguist.
Yeah.
He was a very creative, just a font of creativity, I guess you'd have to say.
Yeah. Somebody told me that he used to walk around, wherever he went, he carried a little notepad. So if somebody would say something that's a little weird, he would write it down.
Make a note.
Yeah. I started doing that too.
I was going to ask you how you collect ideas for tunes.
I do that, what I just said, and I'm a thinker, so whenever I think of something that seems clever to me or peculiar, I'll just write it down. So I have like a collection of things that rhyme that might be kind of ironic or paradoxical. I have a bucket of like song title ideas. I have a bucket of musical ideas that like if I get stuck in the middle of writing a song, I can go to this bucket of things and go through it like, oh, I could do that. Just move up a minor third, crazy stuff like that.
Right.
But I have I have some tools that I've figured out.
Well, you've probably experienced the thing that you had an idea and you said, yeah, I'll write that down later, and then it goes away.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
So you learn to start documenting them as they arrive.
Yeah.
Well, we want to talk a little bit later on about your time doing some very interesting work on Treme. And also, I know you're not the only trumpet player in your family. You've got a son who is a very talented young musician, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I think it's time to hear a little more music before we do that.
All right. Speaking of Dr.
What do you
John,
think, folks? Some more music?
Speaking of Dr. John, we're gonna play this next song. We're gonna play is a song we used to do on the road with Dr. John. I don't know if he wrote it, but it was one of my favorite songs on the set. This is called Renegade. Renegade.
Here we go.
I'm a runner in the jungle, struggling just to stay alive. I live my life by capital letters, cold letters falsified. I'm a runner in the jungle, renegade from the law. Talk to me about morality. I don't wanna hear it no more. There's men around me that turn out my lights for a $50 bill. My head is filled with information nobody wants me to spill. 'Cause I'm a runner in the jungle, renegade from the law. Look at the peanut man. Talk to me about morality. I don't wanna hear it no more. From the concrete jungle to the cotton curtain, you know I have a lot of past. I carry one woman under each arm, 'cause each day may be my last. 'Cause I'm a runner in the jungle, a renegade from the law. Nothing phony, no more phony Jesus preachers. I don't wanna hear it no more. world was shaking, the deals I'm making. Being a man without a friend. Never think about tomorrow. Don't look beyond the bend. 'Cause I'm a runner in the jungle. Renegade from the law. Give me no more phony Jesus preachers. I don't wanna hear it no more. 'Cause I'm a runner in the jungle. Renegade from the law. Don't talk to me about morality. I don't wanna hear it no more.
Renegade. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Floyd Gray doing great work over there on the drums and cymbals. Mike Bass, the electric bass guitar on 6 strings, and Max Bronstein on the guitar, the tenor. Kid Chocolate, trumpets and vocals. Trumpet and vocals. Kid Chocolate and the free POC, ladies and gentlemen. The quartet version. You can get the expanded version at DBA on Tuesday nights. How many of you have seen the David Simon, Eric Obermeyer series Treme? Well, whenever you heard the character Delmon Lambro play, you were hearing Kid Chocolate.
After the first season.
After the first season.
Yeah.
Who did it the first season? You know?
Somebody that nobody knows. I'm serious. Yeah.
It's still a secret.
Yeah. They showed me a picture of the guy. I was like, who is that? I mean, he might live here. He don't play no gigs nowhere. I've never seen him before. I don't know how they found him.
How did they find you?
It's crazy how they found me. At the time, I was living right above the old Mermaid Lounge. They have apartments up there. It's the Rusty Nail now.
Right.
So I was living right above the Rusty Nail. And you know, the Rusty Nail ended up being my living room.
Right.
So every time before I would go upstairs to go home, we'd stop at the bar downstairs and hang out. They wouldn't even let us go upstairs if we didn't go in the bar first. So we still really good friends with the people over there. So we would hang out there all the time. And you know, also some of the other people who hang out there are pretty much the residents at the cotton mill.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So we met this guy, and we just hit it off when we met him. I didn't know who he was, but we would just sit at the bar. We drank. We have a good time. We go out to other places and hang out and have a good time. And I eventually started performing there on Thursdays. I had a weekly Thursday at the Rusty Nail.
Yeah.
And he didn't know I was a trumpet player until I started doing those gigs. And then when I started doing the gigs, he was like, "Wow, you're really good." I had no idea, man.
Yeah.
It's like, this is crazy. We've been hanging out and doing all this stuff, and you're actually like a really good professional trumpet player. This is crazy. This is crazy. So that guy we were hanging out with ended up being Rob Brown.
Oh, the actor.
Who was the actor who played Delmon Lambro. And so he said, I gotta get you on Treme. I was like, who are you? Okay. It's crazy also because my cousin is a casting agent. Well, my wife's cousin, who may also be my cousin too.
It's New Orleans, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. But she's a casting agent, and she was doing a lot of casting for Treme. So, like, with the power of those two, him putting his word in and her putting her word in, I was in there like swimwear, and it was on from that point. Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been an interesting process to put those scenes together. How did that work?
It really was a process. I don't know what the process was before I got there, so I invented the process. And it consisted of they would give me the song that they wanted to play for the episode. So they would send me a recording of the clip that they wanted to be played. And sometimes it was just a melody of a song, and sometimes it was a melody and a solo that I had to create myself. So I would listen to the music, I would transcribe it, which means to write it out in musical notation. I would write it out in musical notation. I would put the fingerings above each of the notes for the trumpet, and I would videotape myself playing the clip, and I would send it to Rob. Well, I would send it to the liaison, and he would send it to Rob. And Rob would practice it for a week or a couple of weeks, and we would get to the set, and we would just run over it. Or if he had problems with anything, he would just come over, and we would work it out. But when we got to the set, we would just run over it and make sure he was cool with everything. So he would be on camera, pantomiming, and I would be somewhere like in the back of the room or off somewhere else, hiding behind something with a microphone, and I would be playing along with the music with the band, and he would be pantomiming, and that's how we did it.
So he had a chance to at least to do a lot of prep on how he was going to do the pantomime.
Yeah, by the time we finished Treme with season 3.5 or whatever it was, he could actually play the trumpet like pretty well, like on a high school level. He could play the trumpet for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was an interesting experience, and I always think that being involved with storytelling like that is always an interesting experience to see how it's done, all the complications. Just to get somebody in a door in a room,
yeah,
you got to go through all this setup and
yeah,
things.
it's really dramatic.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned that. Anyway, it came off flawlessly. I think he really looked convincing. Some of the most convincing-looking playing.
He did a really good job.
Yeah, that we've seen. I want to talk a little bit about a couple of things. One being your son Deuce.
Yeah.
He is following in your footsteps, at least as a trumpet player and vocalist.
It's crazy because it's just a hobby to him. Like he really just want to make rap beats.
But he's willing to play a little music. He enjoys it.
He enjoys playing music. Like I think that's how it should be. Like he really enjoys just playing music. He likes going sit in. He plays with Trumpet Mafia every Tuesday, and he just really enjoys playing the trumpet. And it's not very serious because he doesn't have to play the trumpet. Right. I didn't make it like that for him. He doesn't have to play it. That's what he wants to do.
Has he been playing from pretty young?
So the first time he got an actual note out of a trumpet, I was in the kitchen practicing. I have to practice a lot because I had in 2007, he was born in 2008. In 2007, I had Bell's palsy, and I couldn't play for like 14 months. I played no performances on trumpet. The only thing that sustains me through that year is I got a Lincoln car commercial with Harry Connick Jr. He hooked me up, and Irvin Mayfield. I called Irvin at the beginning of the year. I was like, bro, I don't know what to tell you because they had booked dates with New Orleans Jazz Orchestra for the whole year, and they paid for plane tickets and hotels and all this stuff already. So I was like, bro, I don't know how to tell you how we gonna resolve this, but I can't play the trumpet at all. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, I guess I have Bell's palsy, and whenever I try to play the trumpet, all the air comes out of the right side of my face, and no sound comes out. So he was like, well, I guess you'll just be a singing tambourine playing Mother Scruncher. And he just took me on. He kept me in the band
Yeah, so he really has,
and paid
Come
me
th- come
paid me
through
the
for you.
same thing
Yeah,
that I
would've-
would have made on trumpet.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, so you never know where salvation might come
Yes.
from.
Yeah.
And that's a kind of syndrome that kind of comes mysteriously and then goes mysteriously.
It's
right?
very mysterious, but it's not that uncommon because when I started like researching and trying to figure out how to recover from it, it's like something like 5 out of 10 people experience it.
Experience some.
Yeah.
It can be almost temporary. I mean, a few hours. It can be.
Yeah, as far as the
Long time,
as the duration of
Yeah.
it varies. I don't know what are the factors that determine how long it lingers or goes away. But I mean I still deal with residual effects from it.
Well, you tried to keep your lips and your chops kind of in shape by holding your face down and trying to at least get a buzz going.
That's how I started playing again. I had a friend. He's a doctor in town. At the time, he wasn't practicing. I'm not sure what he's doing now. He's on TV all the time. You know, there's Dr. Abear, and the other one is Dr. Griggs.
Yeah.
So Dr. Griggs he went to college with my wife. So he came over, and he looked at me, and he used to play the violin, and he had some kind of accident where he broke his wrist. And he said the only thing that got him back was to just play the violin, even if it sounds bad or if it doesn't work, just play. So after about 10 months, I just picked up the trumpet and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna just play. And it sounded terrible, and I had to hold my mouth closed and everything. But eventually, the Bell's palsy started subsiding, and I was getting movement back on this side of my face, and eventually my lips were able to stay closed without me holding it. And I mean, every day I think about quitting playing the trumpet because I have to practice so much just to stay in shape and keep up, just to keep up, not even to be better than everybody, because I'm really competitive. Like, that's what I came up with. Like, we were really, when they talk about young lions, like we were lions. Like myself and Stephen Walker, Irvin Mayfield, like we would go to all the jazz clubs in the city, and whoever was on the stage, like, you better, if you had a trumpet or a trombone in your hand, like, you better be on your stuff, because we're coming to eat lunch.
We're coming for you, man.
Yeah, that's our mindset, and it's kind of hard to come out of that sometimes, but 20 years later, I'm just trying to enjoy the music without the competition. And but wait, we were talking about Deuce. So all of that. So I was practicing because I had to practice.
Right.
So I was sitting in the kitchen practicing, and he was in the high chair. And he was looking at me, practicing, and he reached for I thought he was reaching for me. I thought he loved me, but he was reaching for my trumpet. So I put the trumpet to his lips. He was 4 months old.
Wow.
I put the trumpet to his lips, and it's crazy because he understood what I was saying. At 4 months, I told him what to do, and he did it, and it made a trumpet sound. It wasn't him. It wasn't his voice in the trumpet or nothing like that. It was the buzz in the trumpet, and he made his first sound at 4 months. So when he made 1 year old, I got him a little bitty pocket trumpet. I got pictures of that somewhere. I'll post them one day.
Yeah.
And but I mean, since he was born, I just always put instruments around him because I wanted him to not be so wrapped up in the digital things that he would miss the organic things.
Right.
I mean, we allowed him to do the digital stuff too, but just not to the extreme where anything else is a distraction from the digital things. That's backwards. You know what I mean? So he had trombones, he had keyboards, he had drums, he had guitars, bass, he had everything. congas. So his routine in the morning, he would wake up, he would stick his finger in my eye and open my eyelid, to get some breakfast. And then after breakfast, he would go to the living room and he would just make his way around the room, touching on every instrument. He would play something on every instrument until he got bored. He'd go to the next one. Like that was his toys.
Yeah. Pretty good toys.
Yeah.
Great way to get introduced to music and musicians too.
Yeah. Plus, all of my friends pretty much are musicians, and they're always at the house. And if they see him go to the piano, they'll go to the piano and show him something on the piano.
Right.
And so he's learned from everybody all around us, not just me.
Yeah, it's just from jump for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's really interesting. But yet he has many other interests besides music as well. At this point.
he really likes composing tracks on the computer, and he's got some artists that he's been working with that rap and sing over his music. He's got some stuff on Spotify. He don't let me hear it. He won't tell me that. But what the stuff that he has let me hear, it sounds really good. And he actually he did an album himself. It's just all him, where he's singing and rapping and doing all of the instruments. He didn't put it out because he said it's too personal. Like it's too much of myself. I don't really want to be exposed like that.
Put that in the world.
But it's really, I'm really, my standard for music is like really high when I talk to other people about the music that I like and why I like it. They tell me that I have a really high standard for music. And like all of that being said, like his music is really good. Like it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
not just because I'm his dad.
Yeah. And we'll accept some of it just because you're his dad.
If it sucked, I would tell him it sucked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it like that, but
Yeah.
I'll let him know.
You've put out a couple of interesting things in recent times too. I really enjoyed your 2020 piece that Chris Royal wrote the music and you came up with the lyrics following George Floyd assassination.
Yeah.
I Can't Breathe.
Yeah.
That's really a great track. And it's a terrific group that records that.
Yeah, that song was in order for me to write that song, I had to emotionally and in my imagination go to a place that I don't live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
So it was really dark and depressing when I was writing that song, but in my opinion, it ended up being a great work with Nigel Hall singing it also. Like Nigel Hall really brought it to another level.
Man, he's just so full of passion.
Yeah.
And delivers it beautifully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, you've got more recently something dealing with gun violence before your time.
Before your time, that's not actually gun violence. That was actually about the lockdown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was about the lockdown and the pandemic and all of that kind of stuff.
So, exiting before your time with all of that or whatever. Well, it was you mentioned that.
It was actually about using the opportunity of being locked down and during the pandemic to find some things to cultivate your self-development, like develop yourself to do things while you have this time to do nothing. So before your time is up. So before this time is up.
For this period.
Just like get yourself together. Like you probably won't have an opportunity like this ever again in your life. So get yourself together so that when we come out of this on the other side, you'll be up. Like you have some new skills that you have new skills. Your compensation goes up. Your conversations go up. Your access to things goes up. It was more about that.
Live for whatever moment you're in. You gotta be there. You need to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it's been a lot of fun hearing some of your experience today, kid, and the music's been great. I think we have time for one more.
We have one more. We have two more.
Well, let's
They
hear 'em
go.
both.
They go together.
Well, then even better. Double the fun.
Absolutely. Let's see. So the first one, one that we're gonna do, I've never heard anybody play this song ever, and it's like it was a hidden gem. I found the album because I've never heard anybody play anything from this album. It's the Storyville Jazz Band with Bob French and George French is singing. I think it might be Melvin Lasty on trumpet. I don't know who's on saxophone, but it's like, I guess it's an obscure album. And I don't know how I even came across the album, but I was listening to it, and there's a track on there, St. James Infirmary. And I was listening to St. James Infirmary, and I was like, oh, I know one person who listened to this album, Nicholas Payton, because his version of St. James Infirmary is, I can see what he borrowed from that version of St. James Infirmary, where nobody is looking over there, except for me. I found nobody else knows. But, and the name of this song is Here Comes the Funky Man. George French was singing vocals. George French, like any song that I ever heard George sing, it just made me want to sing that song too.
Yeah,
George,
so good.
he's like, his voice is like butter, man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still.
Still, yes. He sent me all these trumpet players on Facebook. He's like, check this out. To this day. All right, here we go. Here comes the funky man. I'm talking about the man. I'm talking about the man. Oh, here he come. Here he come. Here he come. Here he come. Oh, here he come. Here he come. Here he come. Here he come, Lord. I'm talking about the funky man, y'all, yeah. Talking about the funky man. Here comes 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 the funky. Oh, here come, here come, here come, here come. Oh, I'm talking about the funky man, y'all, yeah. Talking about the funky man. Here comes the funky man. Here comes the funky man. Here comes the funky man. Yeah. big bass drum led the big parade, all on a Mardi Gras day. Well, the big bass drum led the big parade, all on a Mardi Gras day. The big bass drum led the big parade, all on a Mardi Gras day. And all you could hear all night and day was Ooh-Ba-Lay, two-way pocket way. Bugle player did the bugle call, all on a Mardi Gras day. The bugle player did the bugle call, all on a Mardi Gras day. Oh, the bugle player was full of alcohol, all on a Mardi Gras day. And all you could hear was the people say, Ooh-Ba-Lay, two-way pocket. The Zulu King was doing that second line, all on a Mardi Gras day, throwing platinum coconuts, drinking mellow wine, all on a Mardi Gras day. Oh, the Zulu King doing that second line, all on a Mardi Gras day, y'all. And all we could hear all night and day was Ooh-Ba-Lay, say two-way pocket way. Hey, the trombone man play some T-na-na, y'all, all on a Mardi Gras day. Oh, the trombone man play some T-na-na, all on a Mardi Gras day. Chris Brown and Dog Matter play some T-na-na, y'all now, all on the Mardi Gras day. And all you could hear was the people say, Ooh-Ba-Lay, say two-way pocket way.
Yeah, all on a Mardi Gras day. Yeah. Beautiful work. All on the Mardi Gras day. Here comes the funky man, ladies and gentlemen. Great work over there on the drums and cymbals from Floyd Gray, ladies and gentlemen. Making it happen. Mike Bass at the bass. Max Bronstein is our guitar man. Trumpet vocals and the leader of the band, Kid Chocolate. Kid Chocolate and the Free POC. You catch the expanded version of this wonderful ensemble Tuesday evenings at DBA for the next little bit. Yeah, I agree, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed. Thank you very much for joining us here for Talkin' Jazz this afternoon in concert. Our next session is next Thursday with the terrific duo Josh Paxton and Debbie Davis, piano and vocal. And 3 weeks from today, the Larry Sieber Trio will be joining us for another Talkin' Jazz session. Thanks for being here today. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank y'all.
Ladies, ladies. Warm round of applause for Mr. Fred Kasten. We're on now. You can check out our programming. Check out with the New Orleans Jazz Museum's website. You can also check out the New Orleans Jazz National Historical Parks website. We do programming every day that we're open, 10 o'clock in the morning to as well as 2 o'clock in the evening, afternoon programs such. Check out our website. Come see, stick and stay, and I hope you have a great day.